Hello viewers, this week in Homework we are diving deep into a political storm that's been brewing for years. It's a North versus South battle, but this time it's about representation in India's parliament and the imposition of Hindi. The question on everyone's lips is, will the delimitation of seats in the Lok Sabha change the political landscape?
Delimitation, if delimitation has to be done, it should be two-third majority. There is no two-third majority, it will not happen.
1971 status quo must be maintained as far as the delimitation is concerned.
Modi ji has made it very, very clear long time back, a year back. We will not follow the Congress model of doing Anyaya to southern India. And this is NDA's government. We will do Naya to all states.
And will it be a win for the North and a loss for the South? And are the southern parties playing politics by raising the bogey of Hindi imposition? Buckle up, as on Homework, we are about to break it all down. First, let's deep dive into the issue of delimitation. Picture this. For the last half a century, the number of Lok Sabha seats has remained frozen at 543. Yes, that's right, frozen since 1976. Now some might say, why mess with it? But the reality is that India's population has undergone a dramatic shift. Northern states like Uttar Pradesh, Bihar and Madhya Pradesh have seen their populations explode. Meanwhile, the southern states including Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh and Telangana have made incredible strides in slowing down their population growth. But here's the catch. In a country where population growth is so critical to democracy, the North and the South are fighting over how seats in Parliament should be allocated. This is a delimitation battle like never before. Here is what Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Mr. M.K. Stalin said while calling an all-party meeting on this issue on March the 5th. We in the South have done our part. We've controlled our population focused on healthcare and family planning, but now the centre is looking to reward states that haven't been as successful, said Mr. M.K. Stalin. He said this isn't just unfair, it's a betrayal of our efforts and we won't let our voice be drowned out. These are powerful words and they're just not just coming from M.K. Stalin. The entire southern bloc feels the heat. Telangana Chief Minister Revanth Reddy has thrown his weight behind Stalin on the issue. What is Tamil Nadu's fear? If the delimitation exercise is based on population growth, their share of Lok Sabha seats overall will shrink, despite their economic contributions to the country. Right now, Tamil Nadu has 39 seats, but Bihar has 40, even though Tamil Nadu's population growth has been slower. Look at these numbers. Uttar Pradesh's population has grown by more than 16 crores since 1971, yet their seats haven't changed. Bihar, 13 crore more people. But in the south, Tamil Nadu, Kerala and Karnataka have all slowed their growth. They are doing the hard work of family planning, but it seems like that's going to cost them politically. In all this, it is however also important to respect the principle of one person, one vote. If seat distribution is kept unchanged across states as it has been over the last 50 years, it will only worsen the already skewed representation across India's states. For example, a member of parliament in UP caters to nearly 3 million residents compared to less than 2 million residents in much of the southern states. Is it fair upon a person living in UP or Bihar to hence continue with the same arrangement that was there 50 years ago? Also, Labour from northern states has had a big role to play in the economic development of southern states. The economic progression of the south has helped it lower population growth rates. But here's the big question. Should states that have been more responsible with their population be penalized for their success? K.T. Ramarao from Telangana doesn't think so. He's been vocal about this issue, calling for the delimitation to also consider a state's economic contribution and not just their population. After all, the South contributes a huge chunk to India's GDP, yet it feels like they're getting the short end of the stick when it comes to tax allocations and representation. KTR says, we are nation builders contributing massively to India's GDP, yet we are left underrepresented. This isn't just about population numbers, it's about fairness southern states should not be penalized for doing what's right for the nation, says KTR. Here's the twist. Southern states argue that delimitation should also account for how much every state contributes fiscally to the country. Southern states are home to India's major economic hubs like Bangalore, Chennai, Hyderabad and Kochi. But guess what? They pay more taxes than they get back. And in the national debate, they fear their voice will shrink as well. Now the centre is caught in a bind. The delimitation exercise was meant to happen after the next census post 2026, which meant after the 2031 census. But the 2021 census has been delayed by 5 years. Why? Some say it's deliberate so that the centre can rush through the process in 2026 and give an advantage to the north. Well, the argument goes by delaying the census, the centre gets to base the delimitation on current population figures, which could hurt the south. Amit Shah, the Union Home Minister, has assured that there will be no pro rata reduction for the southern states. He in fact has assured that all states will see an increase in their seats and the southern states would get their rightful share in the increase too. But his statements seem to have created only more confusion.
डिलिमिटेशन में आपका एक भी सीट प्रोरेटा कम न हो और जो बढ़ोतरी होगी इसमें उचित हिस्सा दक्षिण भारत के राज्यों को भी मिलेगा, इसमें कोई शंका रखने की जरूरत नहीं है.
Siddaramaiah, the CM of Karnataka, says that this only adds to uncertainty for states like Tamil Nadu, Telangana and Kerala. The Karnataka CM says, and I quote him, the centre's statements are ambiguous. If delimitation is going to be based on the latest population numbers, we will lose seats. If they stick to current seat allocation, it will still be unfair. We need clarity, said the Karnataka Chief Minister. Well, the new Lok Sabha chamber is set to house 888 MPs. But the real question is, who gets to fill those seats? Southern states like Tamil Nadu, Kerala and Karnataka fear that they will lose political power and heft even though they've managed to slow down their population growth. Southern states feel that increase in seats for them would be moderate, while it would be astronomical for northern states, putting BJP at an advantage because it has a base in the north. Congress too has performed poorly in the north ever since BJP's rise here under Narendra Modi. All would now depend on the formula that the Delimitation Commission, once it is set up, arrives at to determine the base average population. This is the number of people that every MP on an average represents, and the idea is that population in each constituency be tightly grouped around this average. But this could be tricky, and the Delimitation Commission, which will have representation from all the parties, has a tough task and could see political fireworks. So what's the solution? Can the government craft a delimitation strategy that balances the need for fair representation without penalizing states for their demographic management? And more importantly, can the centre show statesmanship and finally end the delayed census saga, which is linked not just to delimitation but also to women reservation implementation? Will the North-South divide in Indian politics widen even more? Or will this delimitation exercise be the moment that India finally gets fairer representation for all its citizens? One thing is very, very clear. Southern states are not backing down, and the northern states would want to correct what some say is half a decade-long anomaly. As this saga unfolds, it's not just about population, it's about justice and fair play in India's democracy. Now let's talk about the second theatre of the North-South war, which is Hindi. The language war in Tamil Nadu isn't just about words, it's about identity, pride and a fierce 80-year-old resistance. This isn't some new conflict either. For Tamil Nadu, rejecting the imposition of Hindi is deeply rooted in the state's DNA. Fast forward to today and that same spirit is alive and well. Enter the National Education Policy 2020. Now this policy doesn't flat out demand Hindi be shoved down Tamil throats. It talks about imparting education in the mother tongue, which in Tamil Nadu's case is obviously Tamil. But here's the catch. The NEP also recommends the 3-language formula. In theory, that means Tamil students might have to pick up Hindi as a third language, though the NEP nowhere says that. Cue the alarms in Tamil Nadu. They see this as the same old story. Hindi imposition in a shiny new package. This isn't just about language, it's politics with a capital P. On one side, you've got the BJP-led central government which views Hindi as the unifier of India. For them, the three-language formula is essential for a national identity. But in Tamil Nadu, it's seen as an attack on their culture. K. Annamalai, the BJP state chief, calls Tamil Nadu's two-language policies obsolete and wants to replace it with the NEP. He's even kicked off a signature campaign to push the policy through. To him, it's about modernizing education and keeping up with the world. But then you've got the DMK-led state government with Chief Minister M.K. Stalin at the helm, standing firm against what they view as a dangerous erosion of their cultural autonomy. Stalin warns of a language war if the NEP's three-language policy is forced upon the state. For them, this isn't about just textbooks and classrooms. It's a battle to preserve the very fabric of Tamil identity. And then, just to make things more tense, the central government drops a bombshell. No funds for Tamil Nadu's education system under the Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan unless they comply with the NEP. Union Minister Dharmendra Pradhan calls it an imaginary fight from Stalin, accusing him of using the language issue to cover up his state's governance challenges. It's a classic tug of war. The state wants more freedom, and the centre is using the financial carrot and stick to get its way. For many in the BJP, it's about modernization and creating a more cohesive India, while for Tamil Nadu, it feels like another battle to preserve what makes them unique. What now? Well, the fight continues and both sides are digging in. The central government wants its NEP implemented across the board, but Tamil Nadu isn't backing down. The stage is set for a fierce language war, and it's one about much more than just how we learn to speak. Join us again next week for another episode of Homework. Thanks for joining.